Now what we want to try with this exercise was that we're going to take this elephant and put it on the road and build a proper shadow that falls according to the light in the picture onto the street. So what we do as a first step here naturally is that we have to take the elephant here out of its background. The best tool to do that is, as we know, the pen tool that we select here from the toolbar. And we're going to zoom into the elephant as close as we need to. Please always be paying attention to that you're really into the picture, that you see what you're doing. So I'm selecting the pen tool, and always a few pixels into the picture, I'm going to start to build a path around the elephant itself. Remember how to set the anchor point, and when you pull it, you're building a curve. You pull it along the object itself, that you can build a proper curve. And that way you can build a path step by step along the outline of the elephant itself. Please check your materials. I've given you photocopies with exact details about the pen tool itself, how to drag and drop, how to correct anchor points. When I press Control key, I can move the anchor point and adjust it along the way. Same thing for the handles. If I press Control and grab one of these handles, I can adjust the way of the curve itself, and that way you can build a perfect path around the elephant itself. Now I have already prepared a path here in this exercise. Once you're done with that here, this is what I started new, this is already what I had prepared. It will show you that it's a work path. In that case, please make sure after you're done to go to the menu for the path, always in the right hand corner, and save the path. You can give it the name as you want, elephant I'm going to call it, press OK. And then it had saved the path you created for the elephant inside your file. Now what we can do now here is by simple drag and drop to get the elephant over into our other file. So I'm going to activate the elephant here. As you can see, if I press Control and click into the little icon, it will activate the path of the elephant. And now I can take my file, I'm going to pull it down that I can better see it, and I can simply take the arrow tool and drag and drop it over to my other file. I had prepared this here already as well, therefore I have now two elephants. I can blend out one. And then the next step would be that you adjust the size of the elephant to put it according to the size of the photo onto the street. You can do that now with the transformation commands. You find this either under the edit menu, have to get on the right layer here, under transform and scale, or the shortcut, which is always something to be helpful with, is Control T. You can see then the window to control the anchor points to proportionally scale the elephant with Shift up or down, depending on what you decide about the size of the elephant. So we have done that. Now the next thing is that we need to create the shadow for the elephant itself. The drop shadow tool of Photoshop will not help us very much because it will only create a shadow like the elephant would be leaning towards a wall, and it will not create a real life shadow according to the picture itself. Let's blend out the elephant for a moment and look at the picture here. As we can see, we have light coming from a certain area in the picture. The sun is somewhere up there, we need to locate it, and when we look here at the bushes, we can see there's a very straight shadow falling just down very slightly here onto the grass. That tells us that very much from somewhere here, a little bit off center, the sun is coming down into the picture. This is important for us to be able to make a decision about how this shadow needs to fall if our elephant, which is of course a rather big kind of animal, stands here on the way and the sunshine comes from a little bit off center here. That means that the body shadow that the elephant will be dropping will fall into this area onto our street. Therefore, we need to create, as it's called, a body shadow, and for that we take the layer of the elephant and duplicate it in order to have the shape of the elephant that we can then fill with gray and turn into a proper shadow. Now, in order to do that, we can either select from our menu here in the right hand corner once again to say duplicate layer, or if I take the layer of the elephant and drag it into the new layer shortcut icon, it will also make a copy of my elephant. As you can see, I have elephant copy here, and this was the original file. So I can take either one of them now and activate it once more by clicking with Control into the little icon and fill it with a shade of gray. And go OK, press the command to, I have to be in the right layer, press the command to fill. Remember, was a shortcut with Control backspace, or if you go to edit and go to the filling command, you can also pick with which color you want to fill it. Here it's the foreground color that I selected with my gray, and I press OK, and here I am, and I have a wonderful layer of gray behind my elephant. I deactivate that, and now naturally I need to take this layer and distort it in a way that it falls onto the street. In order to do that, I use the transformation commands of distort, and I activate that. I once more get my window, and now here's a very handy trick that Photoshop offers me. If I go with my mouse here into the middle anchor point of the transformation window and press Alt, and by doing that I can flip the shadow according to its size onto the street here.